Now, the reason I waited to now to tell this story is because I know that many of you will be asking, why are you not an American citizen yet? That's a story for another day, guys. And I think what pained me the most when they started talking about, oh, if you were a citizen, you could go, is the fact that I had been interviewed for citizenship. I passed my citizenship test and I was denied American citizenship. That's a story for another day. So it was even more painful knowing that I could have actually been a citizen before the cruise, but of course it did not happen. Like I said, that's a story for another day.
Tonight I think of my home, the home where I was born. I think of my family and the poor farmhouse we had. There in my home, we had no sophistication. We had no timepiece, the cockcrow and the sun, all we had.
Well, as the caption says, Nigeria's finest deported. How could this happen? Why? And when did it happen? Adeola Fayehun just became a US citizen. This is my most admired Nigerian content creator. She's creative, she's funny, she's knowledgeable, and she's in your face. Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And as usual, I like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. As you can see, I'm very excited today. Why not? Today, I'm bringing you one of the most intriguing, most fascinating, most knowledgeable, most humorous, most add whatever you like, Nigerian content creators that really captivates when you watch her shows. I think she's been in the air for about 10 years and every week she gets better at what she does. Ladies and gentlemen, this interview is bringing you none other than Nigeria's very best, Adeola Fayehun. Ladies and gentlemen, in this interview, I'll talk to Adeola about what led up to the deportation and how it's going. Remember, this is a parody.
Tonight I think of my home, the home where I was born.
So Adeola, oh yeah, Kilo happened. How did this? I can't even fathom it. Kilo lead to deportation. What really led to this deportation?
Vex. So after having Bobo in the summer of 2023 and going through all those pregnancy complications, I made a video about how I almost died from internal bleeding and blood clots. Victor thought I needed a real vacation, and because we were moving, we thought, let's just wait till my birthday and do everything together. So we thought, what better way to enjoy life than to go on a 7-day cruise? Actually, I think it's 8 days, getting on a massive ship, 18 stories. Each time that a friend would ask, Adeola, what are you doing for your 40th birthday? I would say, oh, we're going on a cruise. So, and we started hearing things like, okay, then we're coming with you. And we were like, wait, what? So after a number of friends expressed interest in going with us, we thought, okay, let's just tell our other friends as well, so that they will know that this is what is happening for my 40th birthday, in case you guys don't already have a vacation plan for next summer, so that you will not see that we went on a cruise with some friends and it will look like you were not invited.
Adeola, I get all that, but the listeners are curious. I want you to tell us the detail of how this happened.
46 people, close friends, had registered to go on the same cruise. These people paid their own way from different parts of the world, from Canada, from Mauritius, from Nigeria, from different parts of the US. The church gave us 2 buses to transport our guests from Katy, Texas to Galveston, where we would board the ship. Thank you so much, Pastor Badru. Our guests were already in the bus waiting for us because the church had a Thanksgiving service for us. So we stayed for the Thanksgiving and then we rushed out as soon as it was done, even though the service was still going on. So we were the last ones to get on the bus. They were moving our bags. Victor joined them and I was looking after the kids.
Adeola, you know you can be very long-winded. I'm enjoying the talk, but just to make it shorter for our viewers.
On our way to Galveston, where we would board the ship, Victor said to me, Olufe, I don't see the laptop bag. I said, Abba, you're being paranoid. They helped us move our stuff. Why wouldn't they move the laptop bag? Relax. Inside the laptop bag were our passwords. You see where I'm going? Anyway, so when we got to Galveston, the bag was nowhere to be found. Okay, so we had dropped all our bags while we were looking for the laptop bag, and they've taken them along with other people's bags into the section where they check in luggage. So they've checked in our luggage, but we're still looking for our laptop bag that has our passports. We only had one small bag with us. It doesn't even have any of our clothes. We searched both buses, nothing. At this point, I started having trouble breathing well. Some people were greeting me. Adeola, it's so nice to meet you. I saw them, but I did not see them. I responded to them and I smiled, but my mind was not there. Now you have to picture this. Everybody that gets to the port is excited to get on the ship. Our party had already gone through check-in. Most of them had gone into the ship. Only a few people were still checking in. So we finally went inside the terminal to check in, and Victor explained to them that we forgot our passport in Katy, which is 1.5 hours away, but we've checked in online. We've uploaded copies of our passports on the portal, and they said to him, are you all American citizens? And he told them, I and the kids are, but my wife is not. She's the green card holder. That's me. And they said to him, well, those of you that are American citizens, you can get on the ship, but she cannot.
Okay, Adeola, I get it. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rín ti tó now. What happened? Any passport? Did you travel or did you not travel? My listeners want to know. Because international travelers, especially the third world travelers, need láti mọ gbogbo àwọn circumstances only exist. We need to know these circumstances that can exist when we travel, especially people from Nigeria.
Victor looked at them like, what do you mean we can go? Are you suggesting I get on the ship without my wife? Some of our friends started noticing something was happening, so they came closer. At some point I said to Victor, you should go with the kids. He looked at me like, you must be crazy. He said, you're out of your mind. I'm not going anywhere without you. About that time, Pastor Badru called. That he just got home and somehow his wife discovered a laptop bag behind the driver's seat. What? Pastor Shade, God bless you. You are the one that solved this problem. Anyway, I said, Daddy, that is where our passports are. He quickly called Bro Fred to come to his house to get the bag and bring it to us. It must have been at least 45 minutes to an hour that we've been at the port. So Bro Fred had to go to Pastor Badru's house to get the bag and drive 1.5 hours to get to where we were. So we told them, okay, we found the passport. Someone is bringing them. Only for them to tell us, well, on a normal day, we would wait. We usually don't take off until later. But on this very day, they said the ship is leaving early because Hurricane Beryl was going to hit Houston that night. So the ship wanted to get as far away from the coast as possible before the hurricane hits so that it won't hit them. Now, most of our guests, like I said, they had already entered the ship. So many of them had entered their hotel rooms on the ship. They were sending us some pictures. Kat was already inside. Dr. Lovett was inside. Lisa, the Oduwales, yeah, good, They were all inside already. Some of them were already sending pictures of their view of the ocean from their room. Okay, they did not know what was happening at the terminal. It's a big ship. More than 5,000 people were on that ship. So my cousin Adeola and her husband Dr. Osunji call me. So they were done checking in. When they saw us, they turned back. They said, well, if you're not going, what are we doing on the ship? Auntie Kemi Adetayo, Auntie Kemi, I love you. Auntie Kemi and her children, they were also checked in already. When they saw us, they turned back. They insisted they are not going anywhere without us. You know, guys, I was already feeling a huge guilt for what was happening. Remember, Victor told me, I'm not saying the laptop bag go, and I dismissed it because normally I was supposed to get on top of it and be like, wait, so I better stop the ball. So we need to find our laptop bag. I'm that kind of person, you know. I knew without passport we cannot get on the ship. And guess who was reminding all the guests to remember to bring their passports? Me. I was the one reminding everybody. So it was completely out of character for me to have dismissed it when Victor brought it up. So I was already feeling huge guilt. I was also feeling really bad for those already inside the ship because they were expecting us. And then you have these two families insisting that they are not going if we are not going. Wait, guys, that was more than I could bear. I mean, these people flew in from Maryland, from New York. They did not forget their passports. But because of me, they are about to miss out on what they had been looking forward to for almost a year. Now, at this point, I had to send a message to the WhatsApp group that we've created for the cruise, the same one that I had been using to remind everybody not to forget their passport, especially those coming within the US. I said something like, I'm so sorry, everyone, but we left our laptop bag in Houston. We are not able to board the ship. I'm truly sorry to disappoint you. Please have fun on our behalf, something like that. People were like, Adeola, is this one of your jokes? Oh, God.
Wait a minute, Adeola, this is getting long. I'm interested. But seriously, is this one of your jokes? The trip is planned by you and your friends got involved. Now they are closing the doors and you are not gonna go, but you didn't get deported. You're still in the US. Or is there more to the story?
The captain was really nice, guys. They told me the captain was so nice and that he said that normally he would wait for us, but a hurricane was coming. And so for the safety of everybody else on the ship, that he couldn't. I mean, we cannot jeopardize the lives of other people. So our friends wanted to get off the ship when they found out that we're not allowed, we can't get on. But they had already closed the doors. It's a really big ship, like I said, 18 stories. They can't just open and close the doors. Meanwhile, bro Fred was driving so fast. He said he was just going. He didn't even mind whether or not he would get a ticket. He drove so fast that he got there in about an hour. It's supposed to be an hour and a half journey. Unfortunately, they couldn't reopen the door, you know. And so we all just watched as my birthday cruise left the shores of Texas. And that was just the beginning of a series of adventures for my family, the Osunjis and the Adetayos. And can I just say that not once did these people complain. They were even the ones trying to cheer me up. By the way, those who got on the ship, they also didn't find it funny. I mean, there was a general disorientation, like, we came on this trip to celebrate Adeola Fayehun. What just happened? And then many of them, they didn't know each other. Victor and I were supposed to be the ones to introduce them to each other because they were our friends from different parts of the world. And we were supposed to have the icebreaker game that evening after dinner. But hey, what just happened? We travel a lot and we've never forgotten our travel documents. If you know Victor, he's a very careful man, always prepared, never late unless we are traveling together. Very principled, very disciplined, even before he got in the military, you know. And I'm like the opposite. I'm always playful, you know. Now, at the same time, I kept wondering about the times that we wasted searching for the bag, calling the hotel, how different people searched for the bag in the car and they didn't find the bag until it was late. And I didn't even know how to pray. You know, people were telling me, Oniuntolo Fishe, there's a reason God allowed it. But I didn't want to hear that. I didn't. I was I was just numb. Back to the story, Bumi of Kiona experience. She went above and beyond for us guys. Since the ship was going to stop in Honduras on Wednesday, remember this happened on Sunday, she arranged for us to fly to Honduras to join the cruise in Honduras. So we checked online to see if Honduras allows green card holders into their country without a visa, and the internet said yes, so long as you are not staying for more than 90 days. So it's the same thing with going to Mexico and Canada. Green card holders, they don't need a visa to enter Canada or enter Mexico. So we didn't think that there would be an issue. Guys, where are we going?
Honduras!
Where are we going?
Honduras!
Why are we going to Honduras?
We're going on the cruise!
We're going on the cruise! So we drove to San Antonio that night because the hurricane shut down all the flights from Houston. Pastor Badru. Pastor Badru is my father. Anyways, I really don't know how to thank you because this man arranged for our transportation to San Antonio. We stop at Walmart, you know, to get some clothes, just to have a change of clothes, guys. So we spent the night in San Antonio in order to catch a flight early on Tuesday morning. Anyways, early in the morning, we made our way to the airport. Excited, we went through immigration at the airport. They checked all our documents. The airline told us that we were cleared to enter Honduras with green card.
Africa team.
When we landed in Biko, it was a different story. Honduras immigration said we needed a visa to enter Honduras. We said that's not what we found online. Green card holders are allowed to enter without a visa. They said that is true, but it does not apply to Nigerian passport green card holders. I was like, wait, what? Like, come again. You do green card discrimination here based on passport? Like, hey, green card is green card. Why would anybody with an American green card want to run away to Honduras, regardless of the color of their passports? It's a third world country like Nigeria. I was like, okay, we noticed that you have visa upon arrival. They said, yes, we do. Okay, so can we please apply for the visa upon arrival? We're ready to pay. They said, yes, we have visa upon arrival. But it is for other countries, not for Nigerians. I was like, wait, what? They said Nigerians have to go to the Honduras embassy in Houston and then get a visa and then you can come back. I was like, what? What are you saying? Why is everything against Nigerian passports? Why is it a crime to be a Nigerian? So we explained that we are not staying in your country. We just want to get on a ship, which is literally 10 minutes from this airport. They asked if we work on the ship. We said no. And then they said they needed to go and talk to their boss. When they came back, they said the boss said that not only would we not be allowed to get on the cruise, but that in fact she would deport us. At first I was like, deport, okay, nobody is getting deported here. We insisted on speaking with the Oga, and so she came. This is the Oga.
So, pass over here, please.
We greeted her very well. We explained our predicament respectfully, showing her the evidence of the cruise, including the email that we got from the cruise line that authorized us to join them in Honduras, because you can't just get on the ship in Honduras without their authorization. So we showed them their email and all. Nah, she saw everything, and she still insisted that we would be deported. That was how this woman ordered that we be detained at the airport. And it was freaking hot, guys. The children were crying. They just put us in one room. We even told her, madam, you can escort us to the ship. Nah. No. Sometimes this woman no gree. The kids kept crying. They were hungry. They were thirsty. I asked them for water for the kids. This woman refused. She insisted we give her the kids' passport before she would give us water. So I gave her the kids' passport. She still did not give us water. And she did not let anyone else give us water. By then I was furious. I really don't care who you are. You can do your job and still be human. I was so mad. Please, I understand that she was doing her job, but she could still be nice. How can you have visa upon arrival and be discriminating against us because we are holding Nigerian passports? How can you allow green card holders into your country without a visa, but not Nigerian green card holders? How does that make sense? They said our passport is category C. We were like, what? I checked online, and in fact, guys, I found out that Nigerian passport ranks really low, not just in the entire world, but even in Africa. Forget about Seychelles, Mauritius, South Africa, Botswana. Those ones are gone. Forget about Kenya. Forget about Ghana. Do you know that passports of the Gambia, Uganda, Sierra Leone, Zimbabwe, Niger, Liberia, even Cameroonian passport allows you to travel to more countries without a visa than Nigerian passport? As in. Can you believe that Nigerian passport is only better than 5 other countries in Africa? I'm just focusing on Africa now. South Sudan, Eritrea, Libya, and Somalia. Except Ethiopia and the DRC. They all rank the same level as Nigerian passport. Guys, at that particular time in detention, I wanted to say a special prayer for the Nigerian government. Woo, child. Let me just say real quick that it's not like the usual detention where you are locked up. No, we were all sitting. It was an office, but they still detained us, you know. Now, I travel a lot. I've been to so many countries, and this is not the first time that I will experience some kind of discrimination or embarrassment because I have a Nigerian passport. But this was the pinnacle, guys. So later, Madam told everybody else that if I don't behave myself, that we will all sleep at the airport. Ooh, that made me mad even more. I was like, hell no, very weary. I did not budge. Now, after keeping us for some hours, Madam decided to put us in a hotel, saying that she would deport us on Thursday. This was Tuesday. I said, the ship is arriving tomorrow and leaving tomorrow, Wednesday. Why do you want to keep us till Thursday? Even if you want to deport us, then put us on the ship. The ship is going to the US. You know, the cruise will still end up in the US. She no agree. To cut the long story short, she decided to put us in a hotel, but she insisted that the men have to sleep in one room and the women have to be in another room, just to make sure that we don't run away. And to make sure that we comply, she sent 2 security guards, immigration officers, to go with us. One woman to sleep with the ladies, the man to sleep with the men. I was furious. I was like, where do we want to run to? You want to separate husbands and wives? Not happening. Anyways, when we got on the bus, guys, when we finally left the airport, we were so disappointed. There was nothing special about Rotan, Honduras, except for the water. I'm sure that other cities in Honduras would look nice, but where we landed in Rotan, it wasn't special at all. It wasn't even as beautiful as Okesuno, Sedeberi. Now, on that same bus ride, the 2 security guards told us that their boss could have actually put us on the ship, that she had the power to do so, that all the crew members that work on the ship, they always let them on the ship, and that she could have actually allowed us to get on the ship, and that they also tried to talk to her to allow us to get on the ship, but she refused. And so it made no sense even to them that she was just so mean that day. Somebody said maybe she once dated a Nigerian guy that showed her pepe. Me, I don't know. I don't get involved. I don't get involved. But this woman was cruel, and she had no empathy at all, not even for the kids. And I said to the security people, okay, you guys cannot put women in one room and men in another. We are 3 different families. We are not going anywhere. Give people their privacies. And they said absolutely. They already discussed it. And as they were driving us to the hotel, they said, oh, look, that is where the ship will dock. They pointed, and there was even a ship there, not our own. So even the hotel was farther than where we wanted to go, you know. Guess what? They ended up taking us to the same hotel that we had booked. So I said to the hotel people, I said, I beg, cancel our reservation and refund our money. These people are willing to pay. So they paid for our night at the hotel, and we still had what we had reserved, which was a suite for each of the families. So the woman slept in our own suite. Each suite had 2 rooms, so she had her own room, and we slept with the kids in our room. And the man slept at the Osunji suite, so they had their own room as well. Say Laran coming the whole time. I was just trying to understand what was happening. I mean, all we wanted to do was go on a birthday vacation. I was like, Lord, how did we end up being detained, facing deportation? None of this is making sense. Now, what was paining me the most, guys, is the fact that, and it's really sad, that Nigerian politicians don't know that what they do affects how Nigerian citizens are treated all over the world. Nigerian passport used to be strong. I heard that there was a time that you could travel even to the UK with Nigerian passport and you wouldn't even need a visa. We were being treated like this solely because I had Nigerian passport, and we shouldn't even be in tier C. But because a lot of Nigerians are now desperate to leave the country, there is this belief that anybody with a Nigerian passport is just trying to escape into their country, even into Honduras, which is also a third world country.
Well, remember at the beginning I said that Adeola is an American citizen, and I introduced the segment with her story about how she got denied for citizenship. The reality is that Adeola has ultimately become an American citizen. Thank God, she's a very good woman, a good representative of Nigeria. And what you're looking at is her jubilation and the ceremony about her citizenship and all that. But there's a lot to be learned from this story. Well, folks, there's a method to my madness. Even though there's humor to this and the parody, me asking her questions when it's really not a real interview, but I was doing all this to bring us back to the plight of and what it takes to be a Nigerian. How long are we going to be suffering these kinds of embarrassments simply because we're Nigerians? And the real sad thing is that as Nigerians, we worship the people who oppress us. We are so fascinated by the stolen wealth and the beautiful cars bought with stolen wealth, the mansions built with stolen wealth, the money they gave us from stolen wealth, that we refuse to stand up and rebel against inferior people. Because the leaders of Nigeria, for the most part, are inferior to the people they are oppressing at all levels. What does it take for Nigerians to stand up and rebel? It's just food for thought. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Wanko coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Allen TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Let's go.